first question I have for you is, where were you? And I know this is a loaded question, so answer however you like, but where were you before you and I started working together?
So prior to our time together, I had been dieting the majority of my life. Different diets. I tried everything. I've always just had a little bit of a bigger body and I always wanted it to be smaller. And so I would do everything in my power to manipulate that. And whether I was like counting calories or carbs or points with Weight Watchers, I had done 1 million diets. I mean, all of them, like since I was a pretty young person. And so, um, like last winter time, it had gotten to the point where I had sort of started seeing stuff about intuitive eating. And I thought that can't be possible. Like, how could you possibly just eat whatever you wanted whenever you wanted? Like, that didn't, like, I literally couldn't wrap my head around how that could even be a thing. Um, because I was so used to being told what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, when not to eat, how early I should eat, how late I should eat. And so I couldn't imagine like trusting my body. Like that would just mean I would eat all the time and eat all the things. And like, what would that do to my body? Like I can't imagine that, there was a lot of fear. Um, but then on the other side, I kept seeing this light of like, I don't think about food. And people would, you would see things like that. Like, I don't think about food. My body feels so good. I don't feel like, sick or nauseous, or don't have headaches from like not eating enough.
Yeah.
And so I stopped weighing myself. That was the first step that I took, which was I used to weigh myself at least once a day for as long as I can remember. So I stopped weighing myself, and then I just started looking into intuitive eating. I found you on Instagram and started just watching some of your things and thinking like, well, that can't possibly work, but I'm still like a little interested, and stopped counting any points or anything, which all of this was pretty scary. And I was just doing it on my own for a while. So eventually, once we had made our last move to where we currently live right now, I think somehow you and I connected with each other. And I thought, okay, I'll think about this a little more seriously, how this could possibly go. But I was pretty hesitant at first.
Yeah.
I don't think about food. I just don't. I mean, I wake up and I'm hungry and I eat and then I move on. And then it's time to eat because my body's hungry and I feel hungry and I eat and then I move on. And the thoughts of like thinking about food or dieting or all of those different thoughts, I thought for so long, they were all in my head for all day long. Or I would weigh myself and see a number that I didn't like, and then that I was obsessed about that all day long. So I just don't think about those things. And going through this process with you, like literally listening to your hunger cues, like number one, like I hadn't even learned how to know when I was hungry. I mean, I did as a baby, obviously. At some point I stopped doing that. And I didn't know that I could relearn. Like I didn't know what it felt like to be hungry because I thought it meant like a gut wrenching stomach ache. Like you had to feel so starving, but like it could really just be a headache, or you could be irritable, or you could just be thinking about food. Like there's lots of things that could, like it's so elementary, it seems like at first, but these are all things that I couldn't be where I am now without going through this entire process. There's no way that you can just jump from like cereal dieter for 20 plus years to like, I don't think about food. Your body knows best. Your body will know how to feed itself, when to tell you it's hungry. And so all of the diets and all of those things that are telling you what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing, like you can get back to that. And you really truly can. Like honest to God, doing this dieting thing for, I mean, I started like 5 years old and I'm 33 now. It's like 28 years of dieting. Like I never like starting this with Claire, like I was like, okay, um, we're going to give this a whirl because I can't do another diet. And I swear the momentum just keeps going. Like the more I'm into it, I just keep getting more like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Like it was a hard process, but like now it just feels so effortless that it's worth it. It's so worth it. Like my mental capacity to think about other things than food is so freeing. And it's definitely a time commitment, and it's something that you have to work on, but like to know now going into the rest of my life that I don't have to journal about my food every day or think about what I'm eating. Or when we would travel, I would pack like bags of coolers of food for me to eat in a hotel. Like, it's awesome. It's definitely worth it. And I I can't like be happier with the outcome of this. Like, so
Yeah.
good. Like, I feel so good about it that
Yeah.
it's like at a diet you're excited at the beginning and then it tapers off. And with this, like I was like skeptical at the beginning, and now I'm like I want to shout it from the rooftops. Like, I feel like if anyone can like be an intuitive eater, like if like if you're nervous that you like, oh, it can't possibly work for you, like believe me, like someone who has dieted for so long and grew up around diets for so long, like if I can do it, then like I promise like you can do it too. Like, this sounds so cheesy, but like so true.